you lovely lot, how are you doing? Right, you request these films all the time and I totally understand why. I've been shopping and I've got loads more beauty bargain buys. Some I may have used before, some new ones, but if you want to feel and look good on a budget, these are my recommendations. Now first, skincare. There is no other comparison. It has to be Dermatica. And oh my goodness, when I told them I was going to do this film, they have offered such an amazing code. Okay, so Dermatica is a brand that I've talked about, I think, for about 3 or 4 years on this channel. I came across it myself, I used it myself, I gave it to my children when they went through their hormonal stages with their skin. I've given it to friends with rosacea. It's really helped my pigmentation. It's just an amazing brand because it is personalised and you are able to use ingredients that is tailored for your skincare that you can't buy in stores. So it's a no-brainer. Now they've offered me a code for 3 months. You get 50% off the skincare. It is normally £24.99 a month. So it's like £12 a month. Please try this if you are in a pickle or you want to get expert advice. They have a dermatology team who are there to analyse your skin, to ask you questions. They check in, see how you're doing. It is really worth the time, an investment in yourself to improve the appearance and texture of your skin. I don't need to sell it anymore and I'm not selling it. I'm just highly recommending it. They also have a really beautiful lightweight SPF. So that's it. That was my skincare recommendation because it's a nighttime treatment that does it all. And I'm going to leave you to investigate that because Dermatica is such a, I don't know, it's just one of those things that's come about. I know there's a few of them around at the moment, but this one for me has always been, I guess it was the first one that I was introduced to and that I've got results from. So I just really haven't gone anywhere else because it ticked all the boxes. Everything is obviously all down below, you know how it rolls. So that is my highly recommended skincare tip. Please try out Dermatica. They also have, which I've spoken about a year ago, their SPF 50 UVA and UVB. So it comes in this lovely lightweight dispenser. I think for us, well, for those of us who, well, we all should really be wearing SPF, something lightweight that sits under makeup is sort of like the Holy Grail, isn't it? None of us really want to have something that is thick in texture, and you know, the formulations are so much better these days, so much better. You can apply your SPF and then you can use makeup. I've got to really make sure that I'm looking after my new fresh skin either side and down my neck. I'm really not very good at putting things on my neck. That'll probably be very clear in about 5 to 10 years. But yes, always on the sides of your neck. I think I had after my laser treatment, I've realised that I've got to take care of that. Anyway, feels like a serum, feels like really expensive skincare. As you can see, it doesn't have a cast and it absorbs really well. For the purposes of this film, I won't be doing that, but normally I do prefer to allow my SPF just to settle in for about 5 to 10 minutes before I put on my base. I've just removed a little bit out of my eyebrows because I went quite heavy on the SPF. Do tend to overdo things, but then I don't really think you can overdo an SPF, can you? So just to recap, these are the 2 products that I highly recommend that you investigate. This will be your treatment that you will use at night, and this will be your SPF that you will use in the morning to protect your skin, especially when you are using actives, and that's so important. So anyway, yes, as I said, everything is down below. Okay, so now let's go on to serums. These are my 2 favourites. I've had quite a few in a basket. I've got Revolution and I've got the Beauty Pie. This is the new formulation. The one that I was recommending last year sold out, and they've reformulated it. I did a post on my Instagram about this actually, and it's got a little bit more coverage. And the Revolution is the Luminous Serum Foundation. Again, a little bit more coverage, but still that dewiness. I'm going to go in with the Beauty Pie Super Luminous Skin Genius. Why do they make it so hard? Just to start with, I might not put all these products on because I've got quite a few to get through, but I just sort of wanted to give you a little feel of what the products look like. So I have got the SPF on, which is just absorbed, as you can see. So I'm just going to lay this on really nicely. This is shade Light, which I think is quite warm. I would have thought this would be like a sort of, maybe like a light medium. So if that helps you at all with selecting shades, this one is a light medium. And it goes on like a dream. I'm sure many of you have dry skin like me. Our skin tends to get a little bit drier as we get older, unless we kind of have a kind of wobbly sort of hormonal thing, which we can do in our 50s. And in which case you wouldn't want something like this. You would want something that is oil-free. But if you've got dry skin and you want to have just a little bit of freshness to your complexion, but you're still wanting it to look natural, therefore you'll want a transparency to the texture. You'll want to see a little bit, few freckles, pigmentation, whatever. You just want the kind of redness to be evened out, and just the brightness of your skin to be lifted, to be elevated. I absolutely love this. Absolutely great. So they are my two brilliant money-saving recommendations. I can't find another concealer. It just has to be the Maybelline Eraser. I know it's super popular. I saw it at the, you know, the aisle, the end of the aisle in Superdrug the other day. I know through working with Max Factor how important it is for brands to be at that end aisle. They pay a lot of money for that. There's quite a lot of politics that goes on behind the doors in order for them to be able to sway the particular store. I'm sure it's the same in Sephora and Space NK. This, in my case, it was Boots and Superdrug to get that position. And when they did get that end aisle position, you know, they really wanted to create a nice eye-catching promotion. They really wanted to kind of lure customers in, because when you're set against a wall amongst so many brands, and it is just like bedazzling, isn't it, when you kind of go in and you're like, whoa, I don't even know where to look. I guess that's why all the neon packaging has been really popular, because it draws you to it. Otherwise it ends up being sort of like a sort of wall of like skin tone colours, and you know, you can't differentiate between what the products are doing. So the design of packaging now is like really, really important, isn't it? To make it stand out, because the competition is hard. But how wonderful, right? That we've got brilliant brands that are copying, duping a lot of the premium brands, allowing us to be able to wear our makeup in a more affordable way. Because, you know, I came out with 5 products. It was over like 100 quid. Not necessarily the budget ones that I was buying, but because that wouldn't be that budgety, would it? So happy with that. Okay, so I've got 2 powders. This is new, and I've only tried it literally yesterday, because I went shopping for you all yesterday. And this is fantastic. This is a classic. This is the lasting finish up to 25 hours. That kind of marketing just really annoys me. 25 hours. I mean, first of all, 25 hours, not even like you're saying it's going to last a day. You can't say that someone's skin whose could be really oily or really dry is going to have the same lasting effect. It's just not true. Really, really annoys me. Anyway, it's got my favourite ingredient in, hyaluronic acid. And it's a matte finish. And it's got this little double pocket here. It's a bit like my MAC my MAC Studio Fix powder, which has also been reformulated. It's a much more wearable formula. Probably still going to hang on to my old one until I've really finished it. It'll be fine, but I did prefer the old one. but maybe we just get stuck in a rut. But yes, Macca really kind of coming back full force, which is very exciting. Anyway, going to use the powder puff. See how dense it is. It really does give you great colour payoff. So I'll use this on one side of my face just to show you. It's quite difficult actually to demonstrate this on this beautiful lovely base that I've done. So can you see it kind of like deadens that area, whereas the rest of my skin is all soft and lovely. So let me just show you maybe like around my nose. I need to do a little bit lighter. Let's just see whether I can just do that or over my eyes very slightly. Now obviously I'm being fussy. So this is a little bit darker than I'd like it to be. I'd like it to be a little bit lighter. This is just the shade that I picked up. Got myself the wrong shade. Yes, I know. This shade is 006 Rose Vanilla. And I think when I'm a little bit browner, it'll be fine. But around that front panel of my face, I want something to be lighter. But ignore any of that, because if you want to cover redness on your face, you want your skin to look absolutely beautiful and flawless, this is a really great powder because it's got the coverage in that will really help you conceal your skin. It just doesn't really work on what I've done because you wouldn't mix these two textures together because this is all soft and light and wonderful and that's much heavier. But if you go in with a medium foundation or you're at an event or you want your makeup to last a bit longer, this is great. And it's also quite nice to have the little compact in there. I do like a little compact sponge so I can get into the nooks and crannies. It's just more space saving than having another brush in your makeup bag. So I really like, oh, it's also got a mirror. Oh, Rimmel, that's brilliant. Well, I mean, you'd think it might have a mirror in the top bit, but it's got a mirror there. Oh, I love that. Even better. Really, really great product for a full coverage powder. And it's got the hyaluronic in. Okay, very nice. So if you're my sort of skin colour, I'd go for like a 3 or something like that. Not the 6. But you're probably thinking, oh, what is she going on about? I can't see any difference. So the other product that I picked up, which I ummed and ahed about, is Collection Blurring Powder. Now this has got slight tones of beige, blue, lilac, and a tiny bit of green, not that you can see it. So as it said, it's a blurring powder, colour correcting. I don't really think it's massively great at colour correcting. I'm going to just show you the texture. Super smooth. Very, very soft. Very, very soft. Got good coverage, but it is really good at blurring. Look at my lip texture. Let me just do one side. I just tighten the skin so it gets into all the nooks and crannies. Look at that. I mean, that's great, isn't it? So if you've got pores, textured skin, front of your face, wherever, this is just going to knock it back. It's £3. Put it on the other side to match up. And it's not filling it like the Trini product that I've used and loved. It's just knocking back that texture. Isn't that lovely? It is so, so blurring. And I'm putting it on with my fingers. I wouldn't necessarily put it on my fingers. I'd probably use a brush, but I'm using my fingers because I just want to show you the effect. It is absolutely brilliant. And it still feels soft on my hand. Let me just take a brush and just place it across my lid, see how it works. Oh, that is so soft pre-eye. Oh, you've got to get this. Yeah, it's very, very nice. I wouldn't, it's not colour correcting in the least, but it's definitely improved the texture of my skin. What a find. You made me go out and shop. I found that. I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Okay, so 2 brow products that I've tried to find different ones for. I can't. Is the Max Factor 2000 Brow Sculpt. I love this when my eyebrows get a little bit light. I did dye them the other day, but it was a new dye that I just snatched and grabbed. And I think I just bought it on Amazon. Amazon. And I was worried it was too red, so I got a bit scared. I really like this because, let me just show you, before I put on the other product I'm going to show you, I'm going to go backwards to pick up these fine hairs, especially in the summer. Our eyebrow hair can lighten from the sun. And this just gives you an instant tint. So I'm very cautiously not going, especially on the outer part of my brow, I'm not going on my skin. Okay, I really want to just catch the hair, because otherwise it's just going to look too heavy. And then with a clean spoolie, it's great My Kitco spoolie, which I love, got hundreds of these, and then just smooth that down. See how much fuller that looks. And I love this colour because, again, it is, I wonder whether the colour is on it. Probably wouldn't be that lucky, would I? Volumizing brow gel. No, I'll put it in the links. It's a slightly cooler toned one. As you can see, it's not warm. It lasts, and it does set the brows in place, actually. So when you comb them through, and just be careful, especially when it's new, that you don't overdo it, because you can pile on quite a little bit and you'll sort of think, oh no, what have I done? That's too heavy. Just go easy and just comb it through super lightly. And then you can lay the brows in place. And it's at this point, probably need to get them tattooed again. I sort of need, I don't need, I would like. I'm going in with the NYX Lift and Snatch in Taupe. It's just called Taupe. It was called Blonde. And I'm going to fill in the tiny little gaps that I've got. And these are always sort of quite minute little touch-ups. And it gets thinner and lighter on the outside. And this is a very light pen as well, which I love. And again, it doesn't fade. I like the Wonderbrow one as well, but this is just slightly cheaper. I mean, yeah, it's so much better. So much better. And the lid's fallen on the floor. Okay, should I do the other eye as well? Well, let's pick up the lid and maybe just match up. I can do that quite quickly. Back on myself, back on the hairs, back. Do not touch the skin, back. And also, I can tell you another little trick whilst I'm doing this. If you don't have very good eyesight and you want to pluck and shape your eyebrows, maybe you haven't done it in a while, use a product like this and try and get the product to pick up on all the hairs around your eyebrows. Then the lighter ones, which are always those tricky ones for us to see, pick up the pigment and make it much easier for you to see where to pluck them out. And you end up plucking out the little fine hairs that you don't normally see. I'm just going to shake these inks. You always need a little bit of a shake with the lid on, otherwise you'll splatter your walls. I've lost my train of thought now, obviously. Yes, it makes it much easier to see because the lighter ones pick up the pigment, and it's just a good little trick if you're struggling. Just a little bit there, not so money on that brow. Are we looking a bit even? Sometimes the light can throw the eyebrow shade out, but I'll just whip that through. Lovely. 2 great eyebrow recommendations. Right, I'm going to go to Beauty Pie now and used Smoky Garnet. This is one of their lovely Wonder Colour cream eyeshadows, and I just love this for whacking in the roots of my lashes and on the outside, and I like to use it alone. So it's quite nice. It's got that sort of reddy undertone, being a smoky garnet, and I've got a little bit of pink on. So I'm sort of working within the same kind of colour family. That, my darlings, was complete coincidence. I'd like to say that I planned it, but I didn't. I like to make my eyes look like that, which obviously looks terrible. Either with your finger, you want to buff that in. I don't want to lose too much of the pigment, so then at the end I just use a softer brush because it's more delicate than my finger, so that I get a difference in graduation of pigment. You see, look, this is why we blend things. This is why a hard application of eyeshadow is not flattering. Lifted, soft. I better be quick actually because they set quite quickly, these ones. That's another kind of example of what happens when you just use eyeliner. I often see or observe women with eyeliner on, and I can see they wanted to make an effort, they wanted to sort of shape their eyes, but they just didn't get enough time to put a bit of mascara on or even blend the eyeliner. But maybe the eyeliner was just, you know, on their eyes. It's eyeliner. You line your eyes with it, right? Always try and, or not always, but if you can, soften. Soften, soften, soften. And that will, as I've said many times before, just really enhance and increase the surface area of your eye on your face, therefore making it bigger. Don't make that area smaller. If you've got really big eyes, then of course you can use that method and kind of shrink your eyes by creating that darkness just around the lash line. I've thoroughly enjoyed using this. It doesn't make my lids stick together. Some of these cream eyeshadows, they end up sticking together because my skin is quite loose and I don't like the feel. As you know, the feel and touch of makeup is just as important as how it reads and looks for me, because it's a process of just doing something that's really wonderful and kind to yourself. And also you appreciate your appearance when you look in the mirror. Right, we're going in with Paradise Big Deal from L'Oreal. Shock, she's changing her mascara. So I bought this one and I'm super happy with it as well. This brush is a sort of mix between the Maybelline one, Sky High, and the, crumbs, what's it called? The one in the gold packaging. I know you're screaming it at me. Hold on a minute. I can't not know what that is. Million Lashes, the one in that really lovely gold packaging. Thank you for screaming at that me down. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Okay. Because it's got finer bristles. So it's got that lovely rich pigment of the Million Lashes, but it kind of combs them through a little bit better. Now, I don't necessarily mind that because I love a big fat lash. I just think it's a nice simple way to open out your eyes. But for those of you that have very fine lashes and that heavy deposit of mascara just wouldn't sit well, you'd end up with sort of like 3 twigs coming out from your eyelids. Or if you've got very, very thick lashes, that just overpowers everything. This kind of brush with this type of pigment and formulation would work very well. So this is another brilliant mascara. And it doesn't budge. I try not to be like a face fiddler, but obviously, you know, especially with like, you know, walking willow and pollen and everything, it's, you know, it's hard not to get the smudge on, right? Let's just tidy that one up underneath. I don't mind it if I get a few little lashes caught underneath just on the outside, but unless I'm doing a smoky eye, I just don't really bother with the lashes underneath. That's my mascara. Right, okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. I've got two products that I love for cheeks. Obviously, it has to be e.l.f. Camo. If you want to get a cream blush and you've never tried one before, please get one of these. You need the tiniest amount. You'll probably never ever get to the end of it. The colours are really contemporary and they work with everything. And I'm balancing it with the light to medium, which I had to go to 3 shops for, Golden Glow Bronzer from Max Factor. I found, so like I had the NYX cream butter blonde bronzers that I've used before. It wasn't quite the right tone. I didn't find that there was a lot of good bronzers when I was shopping for you guys. Not for you guys, I was kind of curious myself. And this is the one that I love the most because, let's just do one side. Just going to do a little bit with a very soft brush. I liked it because it worked with the sort of texture of my skin and what we were doing today. And what most of us, quite frankly, will probably do in the summer is just use a little bit of something that's almost like a gel. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I'm just going to do half of my face first. Just take that above the socket there. It's always quite nice to put that in. It just really connected well with the skin and it looked very, very real. So this is the one that I went for. And I think she's rather lovely. Don't want to use a small brush. You don't really want to use your fingers. And I just think that tan there, a bit across your nose, is really lovely. So that was one little squirt, like that much is all you probably need. So as I say, you can see from my hand, it's like a gel. So it's quite cooling on application and you don't have to be too precise with it because it's very sheer. So if you are worried about making a mistake or overdoing it, like you wouldn't want to leave it like that, right? You just keep blending and it just almost like beats itself down. It just softens. But when you're bronzing, you don't want to make it too patchy. Like we're not doing like a big sort of like face shape contouring thing here. We're just adding that lovely kind of like sunlight into our skin. And for me, this texture looked quite real. Yeah, nice. I'm just going to wait to see if that just softens there slightly because I might have put a bit too much on that side. This side looks a little bit softer. No, it's softening. Sometimes I think the light from this side's a bit darker, so it's giving more of a hue, I think, backwards. That's nice. Okay, I'm going to stop fussing and just let that do its thing. So with the bronzer, as nice as that is to keep it all soft, I do kind of like to add like a sort of peachiness to the makeup and just to kind of lift the cheeks, adding a little bit more tone in. So I will always take the blusher from the applicator. Oh, this is the colour of summer. Look at that fresh hot peach. Now, I was just about to go with my brush. Let's do one brush and let's do one without. I don't want to knock it back too much that I can't see it. And sometimes by using a brush, that can happen. Let's do it with my fingers. So look, you can see the difference, right? So this is how I would do it. I'd put it on with my fingers first to tap, tap, tap to really push the pigment in, and then use the side of the brush that's got a little bit of the bronzer left to blend in. And you see those colours just lift very, very slightly. So fresh, but I'm just going to put myself a little bit, sort of brought it in a bit too much there for my personal liking. The rest of it I'm happy with. Now I'm just going to see how much is left on that brush. So yeah, decent amount. Again, I'm just going to carry that. It's about mixing the colours together and not being so formulaic about it. There we are. To clean up that nose a little bit. That nose, my nose. So, you know, creams are really easy to apply, but sometimes they just need a little bit of, like painting, isn't it? Just blurring them together. I don't know how that reads on camera, but here, that to me, that looks super lovely. And it's got a nice dimension to it. It's got the warmth and it's got that little pop of colour. So, oh, really, really like those two products together. Now, for my last product, I'm really excited about this find because I had it in my hand and then I was playing with a different colour and I was a bit like, about it. I thought it was a bit gimmicky. I went back to collection. Who's tried this? I think it's quite new. Gloss Me Up pH Gloss. I got the shade Coral Sorbet. I think I might go back and get the brownery one. There's only 3. So it does change the pH of your lips. I don't know what this is all about. Obviously it changes. I don't think it's definitely bespoke. Well, obviously it's bespoke because we're on our own lips. I don't really know the science about it, but it does change. But the great thing is it's so juicy and it leaves a stain and it changes colour. And I really love, you know, for such a reasonable, I think this is £3 as well. It's got this nice curve here. So it really kind of like, look, it really sits well on your lips. So if you're applying this colour on the tube or bus, it just, you know, or even in the car, it kind of gives you confidence to apply. Oh, now watch this. It kind of goes on corally and then it changes to the pink. And it looks gloopy, but it's not. And I'm really funny about like excess gloop around on my lips. Right, let me use up my little handy ring finger. And she goes pinker and pinker. You watch it. I mean, it's not like majorly dramatic, but it's such a fun shade. I was wearing it all weekend. And my girlfriend's like, oh, wow, look at you with your lips on. I didn't realise it was a, you know, like, oh, a showstopper. It's really nice, isn't it? I'm definitely going to get the nude. The nude will be really good for work. So you put it on, it goes to the colour of the pH level in your lips, and then it settles. But then the lovely thing is, I don't really want to take it off. You can experiment with it because I'm going to keep this look on. The wonderful thing is that when it comes off, it leaves a really, really nice tint. Hello. On your lips. So you've got that colour as well. It doesn't just fade and leave you with nothing. So yeah, absolutely love this. Great. So I hope you've really enjoyed those tips. Great skincare, great makeup, great for your purse. Just to let you know, I am going to take a little bit of a mini break from Speed Beauty. I absolutely love reading your comments and I really, really enjoy sharing all my beauty knowledge. I feel totally privileged to have access to such wonderful beauty products, such incredible experts, and it's really wonderful to then share that on with people who don't have that. And I'm really passionate about making sure that women who enjoy watching my channel and my friends get the right information, not marketing spin. That's one of my biggest bugbears. At the moment, I've got quite a lot going on in my little family life, and I need to take a break to just kind of focus on life for a bit. So I'm going to love and leave you now. I'm not sure when I'm going to be back, but I will let you know. And yes, thank you all for your incredible support. I think I probably have the nicest followers that anyone has. I rarely, and have had rarely, get just really unnecessary, time-wasting, insulting comments. I've just had an abundance of love and support. So for that, I thank you all. So carry on looking after yourself, loving yourselves, and enjoying painting your faces. And I'll see you soon. Lots of love for now.